Only 3 minutes of waiting? Hell yeah, I'm already ready to go. Let's go! Hey, good morning, welcome back. So, today we're gonna be starting again on the engine. I'm late this morning, but for a really good reason. I took the bet that Amazon will maybe deliver what I needed to keep going on the engine this morning, because where I'm living, they usually deliver really early in the morning or really late at night. And guess what? Worth it! So we received what we were needing to keep going on most of the engine cleaning. So basically I was like in between going live at 9:30 and not having these, which makes the rest of the assembly procedure A bit sketchy, I will say, because we need to clean that. If we're not cleaning that properly, it might mess up the validation process and everything, the clearance and stuff. So like all that added together, I was like, I'm gonna wait a little bit and see how it's going. And guess what? Boom, we got what we need. I'm gonna snooze the ads for now. So basically with these, with a bunch of things I also bought at the store last night. So this being, what was that sound? Dual side. But you seems to work. Okay. Front cam. All right, I had an error with the butt, but it seems to work. So anyways, so basically stream element, maybe it's the chat. No, I think it's gonna work. Anyways, so this was the product we were missing. I already used almost all this paint here for what we have in there, which is the main cap. I let them like bath in that product all night long, and it seems like it's gonna work like crazy good. Honestly, it looks really nice. Did the same thing this morning with the bolts, so we're pretty much okay to go. So I bought 2 of those because we're gonna need a bunch of that, and it's pretty much the product we're gonna use to clean the entire inner side of the engine, the interior of the engine block. So yeah, so that being said, that means we're gonna be able to clean the bearing surface here, the oil gallery, pretty much everything we can think of. We're gonna be able to, yeah, to clean it and make everything bellissimo. So I also bought a really big brush here that we're gonna use with a drill to actually clean the cylinder in there. So basically, from what I've read on that, you need to clean them multiple times with different intensity. First one being with one of these brush here. So I can show it to you. Ideally, I would have had a 4.5-inch brush. This is a 3.5. So we're gonna have to work our way around because the cylinder is actually 4 inches. So 4.5 inches would have been perfect to just scrub everything at the same time. With that one, we're gonna have to go around. But again, classic thing, if I was to buy the engine cylinder brush for that specific engine, it was that, just a little bit bigger, and it was $80. That was 15. So I'm not crazy, and we're gonna use that. But yeah, so pretty much we're ready to go this morning, and I feel like we're finally in a way in a good position to make everything go a big step further. So I'm gonna open the book again to the proper page, which is around here, dual side. So as you can see here, that was pretty much the what we were doing yesterday. However, we skipped everything that was involving a brush in here. So we're gonna be doing that this morning instead. But first of all, you can already see it a little bit. Let me move the cam. Of course, I'm gonna fuck up the cam. There we go. Woo, ripple. So as you can see, these are the main caps. You have a good reflection in there, but basically they were pretty filthy. The liquid is transparent, by the way, normally, so just the bath remove a lot of things. You can see the brush is in here. That's because I just tested it a little bit. Look, for example, you can see that corner super dark. There you go. It's really working well, so we're gonna be brushing those. I'm gonna put some gloves though, because there's a little symbol telling me it's not good for my health. So I'm gonna be grabbing those, and we're gonna brush the main cap first so they can dry in the meantime while we're cleaning the rest of the engine. Let me put the book over here and keep it open. Let me grab the gloves that are actually here because I knew I was going to use a lot of them. That. And we're ready to go. So good morning to everybody who joined already, and welcome to that cleaning session again, where we're gonna be cleaning the engine in even further than what we used to do, and then we're gonna move on testing a bunch of stuff. So yeah, there we go. The little lo-fi is gonna be perfect for that job. So let me start here. I'm gonna start with that one, the first one here. So we're gonna go, and I'm gonna try to not splash that too hard on myself. We're gonna be doing this. Not that it seems to be that dangerous, because since we can use that on engine and bearing and surface like these, but just that it's still probably not super healthy. So also you can see that I'm using like really those black hair brushes, because basically you don't want to use a steel wire brushes on metal surface that's going inside the engine. You could damage them, scratch surfaces that you're not supposed to scratch, which will result in probably failure and disaster. So that's the idea right here. So we're gonna be just brushing the layer of Schmitz. I'm gonna try to do a full side first. You can already see a big difference, eh? And try to not shake the table too much. Maybe that one would have been better on a really solid table like the blue one, but hey, I'm already committed to this. If we don't see Micah this morning, I guess he finally was able to drive off his driveway. He had so much snow, and then it was freezing rain, which was a disaster, and he was getting stuck even in a Subaru in his driveway, just trying to drive to his job, and his job is like an hour and a half away from his home. So he was not having a super good time in the last few days. Hopefully he's all right today. Let's spin that over and do the same thing here. So I can see there's some parts that has a bit more Schmitz stick to that, and we won't be able to remove absolutely everything, but it's gonna be a really, really solid start here. We're gonna do already the bearing surface while we're here. For those who were there yesterday, you know how basically Rack was saying not to put oil in that surface when assembling, to put that dry. You can see there's a kind of a cross pattern in there. That's to add friction to the surface so that your bearing will stay stick to that. And that's super important, because spinning a bearing means the oil passage are getting blocked because they are rotating in the wrong position, and you are basically seizing the bearing surface on both the bearing and the crankshaft, which result into an engine failure. So that's really not cool. It actually lets you know you've done something bad by a solid knocking sound. I think we're gonna have a few minutes of just cleaning those, which is okay, because at least it is working really great. It's not like I was having a hard time right now. Just that I feel like when I'm sitting down, can I raise that chair actually? I don't think I can. That's edge. Because I feel like if that chair was just a little bit higher, that will be perfect. So far the mineral spirits is really doing a great job. One thing I'm taking care of is not to apply too much pressure on those parts on the bottom end of that pan, because if I'm digging a hole in there, I'm gonna regret that quite a lot. It's gonna be a huge mess. So here there is a little bit of a weird discoloration there. Not sure what that is. Gonna have to deal with that. I think it's just going to stay like this, to be fair. Probably just some old oil or something. The important part is that surface and that surface here that needs to be super clean, because these are where everything seals up. So super important to get them in their place. Even if some of these parts are exactly the same thing, there's a reason why there's actually a number in it. They are matched together from company. So when they assemble the engine, they test and machine those blocks especially for one position. So that one being the number one, it's going to be the first one at the front of the engine, and it was especially designed for that engine into that spot. So they test everything and they make sure that everything is into some tolerance that you need to follow. If you're not following them, you're gonna get into trouble, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Since we're replacing a bunch of parts and we had parts machine in here, well, we're gonna be taking all the measurement again to see that we are still into those tolerances. Knowing that with the new bearings we should have a bit more clearance in between the main cap here, well, the bearing into the main cap and the crank, just to allow a little bit more oil in there. And that's like in a fraction of millimeters, basically. It's not like adding a full millimeter of gap, because this way you will have knocking sounds because they will be too loose, but it's really just adding fraction of a millimeter. Just a tiny more gap, just a tiny gap that's gonna be just a touch bigger. There we go, that's looking great. So pre-assembly should be the thing that will take probably the longest time for the engine assembly, actually, because since we're taking so much measurement and everything, it's not going to be a straightforward process. There's going to be a lot of assemble, dismantle, and stuff like that. Also, I bought the ARP kit for those main cap. Wasn't supposed to do that at first, but since how far we are actually in the project, when I read into the book yesterday that, you can reuse the factory one, replace them, or go for a higher quality kit if you're aiming at a lot of power. I was like, we are aiming at a lot of power, so yeah, decided to go crazier, because basically this is the second, this is one of the most important actually part of the engine, and after that it's like the timing chain, I will say. So yeah, these components, you don't want to be cheap on those, so yeah. All right, that side's done. So it's not going to come back to the perfect color and everything, but it's gonna be quite close. It's gonna be way better than it was, that's for sure. Just look at the difference already. And every time we're gonna be done with one, we're gonna put some towels on the workbench over there, and we're gonna let it dry while we are working on something else. Being a solvent, it's gonna dry by itself, so My hand's gonna be tired at the end of the day. I can tell you that. There we go. That's pretty much it. Oh, that surface there. I always forget. There we go. So first one done. Still like having that amber color, but like it's in way better condition than this one. So really happy with that. I don't know if I can, probably shouldn't touch that. It's not really better, right? There you go, that's better. So you can see the difference. I'm gonna bring a towel. Quite clean. GG. So that towel here, I'm gonna grab one, put that on the workbench. We're gonna be letting these things dry. For now, that extension can go to the ground. That can come in here. I'm gonna just open that up like so, to make a dust-free environment for those to dry, and also having that towel absorb the overflow. There we go. Number one, ready to dry. All right, 4 more to go. I kind of want to take some coffee there, but I will maybe do that and then put it even further. I don't really want to splash my coffee, to be fair. Look at this. Creating quite a big difference really, really fast here. That's quite satisfying, though. Like I can see some burnt mark that won't go away for sure, but overall it's all getting removed really, really easily. That's crazy, the difference it's doing. probably going to just clean them even more with a clean mineral spirit on towels right after that, just because right now the more I'm removing schmutz from them, the more my mineral spirit's getting super dirty, which is normal of course, but like, yeah, we're just going to do a second pass on them where we basically just go with a clean towel on top. So before, after, before, after. That's crazy. We love that. I love seeing beautiful things happening like this. All right, let's throw that back in here. Let's go again on the big surface, then we're gonna have those corners and we're gonna be done for the second one. I wonder if I could remove even some more. Like they said not to use degreaser on those parts. I actually used degreaser in my BMW parts. It was just the carrier for the lifter, so not like a surface that actually get a bearing and stuff. So not too bad. Well, was it or was it? No, it was actually the cam tray. Oof. It survived 3 seasons of a race so far, so it's all good. But yeah, so basically I wonder if for those parts I could use some brake cleaner to even go further in depth on them. Maybe with a towel and not touching the bearing surface, it could be a thing. I will maybe try it on the corner for just one of them and see how it reacts. If it's not like removing more stuff than there is left right now, well, that's gonna be it. But if it is, might just give it a try and bring those back to a full, beautiful, silver shiny material. I need to restart posting the VODs on YouTube actually. Now I think of it. I uploaded them but forgot to actually post them. Bad Mr. Trimaman. There we go. close. I don't want to splash myself. So I think the first hour is gonna be spent on that, to be fair. Looking at it, yup. But that's what they said in the book, like cleaning up is taking a long time, then measuring everything is taking a long time, then you disassemble everything, you re-clean everything up, and then the final assembly, it takes no time. Because everything's prepared, so you're just sending it and everything works great, so you don't have to double think everything because you already did all the verification for them. So that's pretty crazy. I wonder if I can buzz from that. I hope not. Is it against the OS to get under the influence of a substance when working in a garage? I'm just kidding, by the way. I don't think Twitch will care at all for that, just because like it's not saying, hey kids, get some drugs. All right, let's get serious again now. So that one here, I have difficulties to make it work more than that. It's not cleaning up a lot more. I don't think I'm gonna be able to go further than that, but I've removed the main Schmitz in there. Let's do that one now. Bon matin, Kev. Bon retour. Comment vas-tu? Hey, je suis en train de me craquer là, aller le faire le challenge en ce moment. OK, by the way. Ça tombe bien que tu sois là. Je voulais savoir, puis j'allais t'écrire samedi. T'es-tu bien occupé? On pourrait se faire peut-être une session. Moi, ça me rendrait heureux. Là, ça fait quelque temps, là, je suis trop sur Tarkov à ce temps-ci, là, fait que le gros grind d'une vie là-dessus. Là. Puis oui, gros nettoyage, on start enfin l'engine assembly, fait que en ce moment, c'est les main caps et on va passer au travers de tout. J'étais supposé aller faire le truc de conduite sur neige SUV, mais ça a été annulé, donc je suis disponible. Ah, c'était en fin de semaine? Damn! Let's go! Bon, ben, good. Ben, on se tiendra au courant parce que pour de vrai, je pense samedi, fin d'avant-midi, pour moi, ça pourrait être un moment qui aurait de l'allure, genre vers, mettons, 11h, puis faire une séance jusqu'à genre midi et demi, quoi du genre. Fait que on s'en jasera, mais je serais vraiment down. On va peut-être essayer de faire un temps avant pour au moins savoir ce qu'il y en est. Là. J'ai même pas fait ceux de Togé puis lui d'Akina. Je pense que j'aurais eu mes chances parce que je maîtrise cette piste-là quand même assez bien. Mais j'ai juste pas pris le temps de le faire. J'étais vraiment en mode j'ai pris une pause de char. Durant Noël, là, j'ai pas touché au Datsun à part caler des pièces, j'ai pas rien fait, j'ai arrêté de streamer, j'ai arrêté ça, puis j'ai juste grindé du Tarkov. Alright, look at this guys, before, after, hey, we're getting somewhere. Again, it's not coming back like it is brand new. We're gonna try one thing after those are getting dried up, but yeah, so far so good. Toi, comment ça va la nouvelle job? Es-tu content de ton move? Habituellement, c'est rare qu'on regrette un move de même. Alright, that one is filthy. The way I see it is the more they are at the back, the filthier they are. Alright, look at this. It's going to be so good. Ho, 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 ho. Shiny. So this one is the truss bearing, so we're gonna be super careful with that surface in the center. As you can see, this one has like a circle shape at the center compared to the others, and the reason for that is that it is preventing the crank from moving front and back in the engine. So this is super important to basically get that all in place and make sure no dirt is left in there, because that could affect the clearance. Even though, like I said, we're gonna do our best, but there's nothing that's going to make sure that we are 100% clean like when it comes out of factory. But we're gonna try. Nice. Pour l'instant, my God. Le gars, genre, se prépare déjà en mode oh, dans un mois, ça va être du cul, je vous le dis. Non? Ah, t'es-tu passé sur le stream en lurk depuis le début? Ben, depuis le début de la semaine. On est juste mardi. Non, on est mercredi depuis le début de la semaine. J'ai des exciting news. En tout cas, pour moi, c'est le truc le plus excitant ever parce que, genre, c'est la première fois que je fais ça. Fait que je suis comme, oh my God! Nope. J'ai collé mon ECU. Fait que, officiellement, collé le ECU pour la Datsun. Fait que, et c'est une précommande. Car nous allons aller avec notre ami Altec. Le nouveau ECU que j'avais parlé de ça, les précommandes ont sorti là 3 jours, 30 minutes après le post. That was my cell phone on the ground and me just breaking the camera. So, 30 minutes après le post officiel sur Facebook, comme quoi les précommandes étaient dispo, j'ai genre cliqué achat instantané. J'ai relu vite qu'est-ce qu'il y en était. J'ai checké le prix puis j'ai fait ni une ni deux, let's go. Il est 100$ de plus seulement que ce que j'allais mettre qui est un Holy Terminator X. Fait que j'allais mettre un Holy Terminator X, mais genre ultimement, c'est un truc qui a quand même genre presque 10 ans, je pense. Fait que, tu sais, qui est hot, mais qui est plus nécessairement au goût du jour niveau tech. Puis là, Altec sort avec un produit seulement 100$ au-dessus avec circuit, avec les relais solid state intégrés à l'ECU. Ce qui fait que, comme j'expliquais, tu as des sorties 25 ampères direct de l'ECU, pas de fuse, pas de relais. Tu garoches ça là-dedans. La couette de fil tout inclus, le wideband inclus tout. Puis avec possibilité d'expansion de ton... de tes accessoires, dans le sens que, exemple, le wideband communique en CAN bus avec le ECU, mais tu peux ajouter un port CAN bus qui va avoir genre 4 outputs, 4 inputs en fait, le tout relié à l'ordi, fait qu'au lieu d'avoir un seul port CAN bus, tu tombes à 4, puis là tu peux plugger différents accessoires dessus, puis il y a quelques affaires intéressantes, dont le keypad, l'espèce de Stream Deck, tu peux bolter dans le dash ton char, puis avoir différentes, programmer les boutons à volonté au fond. Chose que je commence à considérer beaucoup en ayant en tête d'avoir une tune street. Ben en fait, tu sais, je dis une tune. Basically, avoir quelque chose qui est plus street use, un truc qui est plus autocross, puis un autre lapping. Tu sais, le lapping étant genre maximum power, baby. Mais c'est ça, fait que je commence à regarder ça, là. Coûte cher, par exemple, mais c'est ça. Pour l'instant, j'ai juste collé l'ECU, là, puis on va commencer par faire fonctionner le char, puis avant de l'envoyer au dyno, on décidera. Parce qu'il faut que je m'informe si une tune street, c'est juste genre dire « Hey, au lieu de rouler sur 15 PSI sur le de boost, tu vas rouler à 5. » Puis genre, si c'est juste ça, je vais dire c'est probablement peut-être pas worth les dépenses parce que je serais capable de basically me connecter parce que by the way l'ECU a du Wi-Fi. Il a son propre channel Wi-Fi, fait que tu peux te connecter direct puis dataloguer direct avec l'app sur ton cell, puis potentiellement modifier à partir de là, à voir, mais sinon tu peux juste traîner un laptop puis le modifier sans même avoir à te connecter. Fait que même si ton ECU il est légèrement caché dans le char, tu es capable de tuner assez facilement. Mais ça fait que beaucoup d'options, fait que c'est là où est-ce que je me dis, tu sais, si c'est juste changer le PSI, ben, tel que tel, mais si c'est changer genre quelques petits paramètres, tout ça, ben là, ça pourrait être cool parce que je pourrais carrément enregistrer différentes tunes, puis sur un clic de bouton, ça vient uploader, ça vient switcher les paramètres. Ce qui est quand même badass. The brush is getting a bit tired, but we need to do 2 more, so it's gonna need to stay up there. Oh, did a hole? Yep, I've done a small hole in that because I can see some fluid leaking. No, I told you I needed to take care of that. I didn't. Karma. It's not leaking a lot, at least, but it is definitely leaking. But you know what I'm gonna do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm gonna take the cover that was coming with it, the plastic one, and I'm gonna put it back in there. Boom. Problem solved. Big brain. Gonna take a towel, clean up a little bit of the mess it did. There we go. Hopla. So yep, the big move is done. Now we're gonna need to order everything for the cooling system and the turbo system. After that, exhaust also, but yeah. It's starting to get there. We're getting to the end of the big expense for the car, which is pretty amazing because the bank account is starting to feel tired a little bit. All right. That one is now considered done. Whew. 2 more. Will the brush survive that? Guess so. All right. Even though these are the most filthy ones. probably on those that I'm gonna try the brake cleaner. I'm not gonna lie, because they are filthy AF. Yeah, you can see that there's a bit more of a pattern, a burnt pattern staying on top of these ones. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to go deeper than that with just mineral oils. So we're gonna see if there's anything else I can use for that. Like they said in the book, no degreaser, but I should be able to use a brake cleaner, and I'm just going to put the brake cleaner straight into onto a towel, so I'm not going to go too much on the bearing surface, just to be safe. Hier soir, c'était le GA du Club Delta aussi, Kev. On a un nouveau président. Ce n'est pas moi, by the way. Je voulais rien savoir d'être président. Too much stuff. On a officiellement un nouveau président. RIP David. Rest in peace. Ah, c'est nice. Très content, surtout qu'on a eu à travailler ensemble sur une coupe d'affaires pour le championnat canadien national au fond, moi puis Denis, puis pour de vrai, ça va être un très très bon président pour emmener peut-être des nouvelles opportunités au club. Yo, this one is so soldery. That was dangerous. Yeah, I can see some fluid at the bottom here. I think that was a super duper good idea. Told me it's not fierce. Oh my god, is there a hole in that one too? Maybe for it to breathe, I don't know. Hard to tell. Anyway, we're almost done. Yep, we're gonna try on that one to see if we are able to get something a little bit cleaner than that. Because that will be a huge plus. But otherwise, we're pretty much done. There's here, I can see, big amount of goo. Pretty much 10 to 15 minutes, I think. The two last one we did was didn't seem that long to my eyes. The first few one I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be here forever. But now that there's only one left, motivation is there. There we go. All right. Let's put that on the workbench too. Number 4, ready to dry. Our first one is not dry yet, but it's almost, it's halfway there compared to the others. So yeah, that's working really great so far. Wow. All right, so let's keep going on that one. Then after that, we're gonna test on the one we just did, some brake cleaner. On that one, we'll see. And if it's working, GG, we're gonna probably go around and do all of them with some brake cleaner. If it's not, well, if it's not making a change, well, GG, we're done. And it's gonna be like this in the engine. I mean, we're gonna have anyway, like after a few thousand miles, exactly the same pattern again, because this is some like burnt oil if you want. It's just the idea here is that since we're like rebuilding the engine, we want to make everything as clean as possible. We don't want to put something back with already the dirt of 200,000 kilometers on it. So that's the idea here. But basically we are just cleaning those. Like here, that surface is useless to anything in the engine except being strong. That's the only thing it's doing. So the fact it's dirty doesn't matter, except that we don't want dirty stuff in a brand new engine. That's the only thing that matters. Also, I realized that I still need to find a freaking connector for my power steering module. I think I could make one if I really want to, but yeah, ideally I will need to find a BRZ power steering connector, because I still have no power to that freaking power steering unit. And I still need to mount the control on it, so that's a thing we need to consider eventually, like after the engine and everything is done, when we're gonna be waiting for the ECU. Hopefully that's a thing that's going to happen, like waiting for everything ECU related. We're gonna need to power that and everything, so can't wait to see how that's going, but yeah. I don't want to make a sketchy positive negative wire going in there, because basically it's just a big tab horizontally and another big tab vertically. So I could just use the proper connector and put like a shrink tube up to the edge of it. I've already done that on some cars, but it's not really it's not a connector, so it could get disconnected via vibration eventually. So not ideal, I will say. It could be a temporary thing though. And the thing is, I've looked and the connector is not the same for other Subarus. Because if it was the same for Imprezas and stuff like that, I would have just go to the junkyard and grab one. But right now I'm looking at people parting out and no one wants to take just the like few minutes, maybe like 30 minutes to disconnect that. And like, I mean, I do get it, but if you're parting out the car and you're ready to like take an hour or two to remove the entire suspension for someone, why not like the little 30 minutes to disconnect and cut that wire? I'm bitching about it right now just because I need it, but like I will be the first to be pissed to just go for a connector into the car. But yeah. All right, that brush had a hard life on those. Might buy another set on Amazon to get it delivered for the final cleanup because they are working great. Go, let's do that side, and we're gonna end up with the two corners there. We're gonna be done. So that we're gonna be cleaning up the crank. Then we're gonna go on the engine side and do all the bearing surface for the crank and also a bunch of other things like cylinder and everything, because when we're gonna get into the crank, we will end up not removing it at all. Like we're gonna be torquing everything one time with bearings to make sure our tolerance are good. Then we're gonna be removing the crank, putting a bit of oil and assembling it, then turning the crank to test different other parameters in there, like the wobbling and stuff from the wheel at the back and stuff like that. So yeah. Honestly, if I was to restart again, for the amount it would have cost, I would have sent those main cap to the machine shop with the engine. I didn't think of it, but that would have been a really good thing to get them clean at the same time as the engine was getting cleaned. We would have saved just around an hour, but again, an hour at the machine shop is probably almost $100, so still worth it. That build is probably possible just because I'm doing everything on my own. I will never be able to afford a build like that done at a tuning shop, that's for sure. I will be curious actually to know how much that build will be at a machine shop. Not a machine shop, but a tuning shop. Maybe one day I could just go and ask them how much would you quote that job there, knowing I've done that on the Datsun, and like how much do you think it will cost if I was asking you to do it? There's like 2 or 3 local tuning shop I could ask for that just for fun. Reading in a few minutes, so I'm going back to silent alert mode. See you later, Kev. Thank you for being here. Have a nice day. All right, I think we're looking good here. Cool. So that other one is also done. That one is better, in better condition than what we had with the fourth one. So we're gonna test the brake cleaner on the fourth one, to be fair. Just because that one I could live with it pretty easily. Maybe not the greatest idea to do that. There we go. And it's at this moment I throw it on the ground. That will be so bad, man. So bad. All right, I'm gonna make a bit of space here. Oops. All right, it went back in there. I'm gonna grab one of these. Do that. Do this. Gonna bring back the cleaned number 4. We're gonna dry it on one side. Even on this side, actually, let's go. Just using the towel to actually dry it. And then we're gonna take something to put a bit of brake cleaner on it. We don't wanna go crazy with it, so we're gonna be making sure that it is still within reasonable amount and stuff like that. Where are my blue towels? I probably still have some left, but I don't see it, so I'm gonna grab my brand new one. It's to the Costco I should have went last night. I was next to it and I could have buy a big crate of those. Anyways. The gloves are still okay, so that's cool. And here we go. So we're gonna try to remove that pattern here with some brake cleaner. We're not going to apply I don't know how to speak anymore. We're not going to apply a brake cleaner directly on them. We're just gonna go and put that on the sheet here and the paper towel and just go ahead. Oh yeah, that one has some spray. Big bottle. We're gonna go and do this and see how it reacts. If we're getting something from it, and it seems like maybe yes, might just go ahead and make the main surface everywhere. Just need to take care not to drop a lot of paper. Yep, we're getting a result from that. So that being said, I need to take care because on the edge here it's really like a cutting edge, so we have some residue staying in there, which is not the greatest. But that being said, we might go ahead and use a bit of brake cleaner in here to clean them even more. Like, it's doing a difference, but I don't know at what extent is it really worth it, because yeah, I see I'm doing that. Just want to make sure I'm not dropping a lot of fiber in there. Definitely help there. I don't know for the bearing surface if I should or shouldn't use those. Maybe I should look into the book. What do you think? All right, let me go check what they are recommending for that. I think they are just recommending the mineral oil. I feel like if I can remove at least those big, like, I would say rusty, but it's not rust, it's just like carbon pattern, that will be great. Okay, whether or not you detect visible dirt in any of the oil gallery, you have just noted they must be all clean oil, right? Yep, so that's something we know. And the engine oil gallery is supposed to be that one there. Yeah, so far they are super clean, but we're gonna clean them anyway. I just want to make sure for the actual crankshaft, is there anything I can use for that, or main cap? All right. Brake cleaner will come in handy when spraying into tight passages and bolt holes. So-called electric motor and part cleaner is another option. Okay, what's that? Solvent. You'll need substantial amount of good general cleaning solvent. All right, that's what we have. Mineral spirits. It's not a bad idea to have some carburetor cleaner, the sensor safe type, and brake parts cleaner around. Either you'll do a similar job for surface. A spraying action is preferred. The important thing to keep in mind when selecting general cleaning solvents is to find types that will evaporate and leave no residue. All right. So far, this is good. Alright, so there are a few other liquids you will want around. Automatic transmission fluid, which we are going to use today. I have some in here, used for the actual lift. Engine degreaser, the stuff used to spray down and rinse off a dirty engine compartment, can be used to clean heavily soiled intake manifolds and other non-metal items, but must be avoided on internal parts. So basically I can use brake cleaner in there. That's what that means. So we're gonna be going with that. We're gonna use a bit of brake cleaner on those. Maybe I'm gonna spray it actually on it and just use the brush to go ahead and make a really tedious job. So these are solvent that evaporates without leaving residue, so we are actually doing okay with those. So let's see if I can just go and add some like this, then brush it. We're gonna see if it's actually working first, because it did work there, but I don't think the brush is acting great on those. So we're gonna use another towel and see if that towel is actually doing a greater job. If it's better, it's a win. If it's not working, we're not gonna waste too much time on those. Gonna make sure it's wet. It's helping, that's for sure. Basically here, I'll try to. Yeah, it's doing something, so we might be spending the time doing that. Yep, it did quite a good job. We're gonna rinse it afterward and make sure we're not leaving any residue on it, but yeah. Because yeah, there's a bunch of particles staying in there and I don't like this stuff. So if I'm doing that, is it actually helping? You are our test one right now. Not that we have the possibility to have a lot of testing parts, but yeah. So far it seems to be doing okay. I'm just going to do that and this. Yeah, here you see, now I'm leaving a bit of particles here and there, and that's really no good. So we're gonna make sure we are cleaning that with a bit of mineral. And then, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and use another towel probably after that to just clean those edges, because that surface needs to be as clean as possible. Like, we don't have the right to mess it up. And I think right now my gloves are contaminated with blue towel particle. So it did help quite a lot. So we're gonna do the same thing here. Then we're gonna make sure once it's dry that we're just whipping it with a bit more mineral spirits. I didn't complete my sentence there. That bottle is spraying a hell lot of brake cleaner. Yeah, we're destroying the towel on top, but at least it's removing some dirt. Welcome everybody joining this morning. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing fantastic. We received all the tools we were missing yesterday pretty much. So today is gonna be a day where we are actually doing way more progression than the last 2 days. Knowing that most of the afternoon was looking for parts yesterday. So yeah, progression. So we are just ending, we're just finishing the cleaning of the main cap. Like I said, they won't be back to like 100% brand new stuff, but they are going to look really, really well. So we're just making sure everything is under control in here. And then we're gonna be moving up to the engine block itself again, because we have done a pass on it yesterday, but we can go even further today with the brush that we received. The brushes, actually, we're gonna use many of them. So we received the kit this morning. I started the stream a little bit late because of that, but it was worth it because basically we're just going to be working with those in the entire engine block. So a lot of progression was pending due to those not being here yet, or actually me forgetting to buy some of these because I didn't read the book properly. All right, there we go. So like I said, we're gonna be cleaning those surfaces again when we're gonna be about to basically go ahead and assemble the crank and test the gap and everything, but so far so good. Let's do this, that, and now let's move on to, are we going crankshaft or are we going engine block? Maybe let's go with the crank itself. So we're gonna do that, this, and that. So this is super heavy. You can see how everything's shaking when I'm moving that. This is super heavy. It's the crankshaft of the engine. For those who doesn't know what that mean, it's basically that this part here, you have the main bearing, which are centered to an axis there. So from here to here, the rear and the front, this is going in a straight line with some bearings, and the offsetted one like these are where the piston are connecting. We have 2 pistons per bearing surface here, and one main cap, what we just basically clean on those surfaces here. It is rotating on these one, and it is activating the up and down motion from the piston into the cylinder from these. So this is what this is used for. So this is a really, 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 really important part of your engine. One of the most important part. This one was machined due to the fact I asked for it first, first of all, but basically it was machined at the shop so that it was balanced with the new piston we're putting in, plus the fact we're going from an automatic transmission to a manual transmission. So at the back here, it's not going to be a flex plate, but actually it's gonna be a flywheel. So this is changing the weight in here. The new piston are a little bit heavier, so that's gonna be changing the weight also in here. And we are adding an upgraded harmonic balancer, so this is changing the weight also. So that could have caused that, like those changes could have caused a vibration in that part that could result in a stress failure. So stress failure, which will mean maybe cracking somewhere or eating a bearing or something like that. So basically we prevented that by just going crazy and making the thing, getting a balance and everything. So that's really cool. I'm really happy with getting that done, but now we need to clean everything to make sure that we are not also leaving dirt in there. Let me just transfer that in that bucket there. Put that aside, take a bit of coffee. I'm gonna fill that here. So I was not kidding, it is really transparent. There you go, and we're gonna be wiping that. So these are the brush we just received this morning. So I waited a little bit to see if they were coming in, and matter of fact they did, which is amazing. So we're gonna be using those to basically go ahead and clean those little passage there. So these are the oil passage. As you can see, they are going through, and the way they are going through is to allow the oil to go from the main bearing to the pistons. So they are in an angle, so this is a main cap bearing. There's gonna be oil going through here, and it's gonna push oil through those parts to that. Honestly, I didn't even know it was done this way. That's something I've just learned today, and that's pretty amazing. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna maybe start cleaning all the surfaces first. Then I'm gonna push the dirt out with those brushes through the oil passage. Then I'm gonna swipe it, just wipe it again. So I think that might be a good solution. These ones, I feel like they are leaving a bit too much particle. I don't know if these ones are going to be really better. I might go inside and grab some classic one. I will try those first, the blue one, but I might grab the classic paper one we have in the house to do that job. Actually, we'll see how it is going. So we're gonna be wiping pretty much every surface here, and we also want to do the entire crank. So all the surfaces, we want to remove that dirt we are seeing in here. So that's the super important procedure, because if we're leaving dirt in the engine, that could mean we get damage down the road. So I don't know exactly the best technique for those. I know some people, what they are doing is actually going like this, like that, and just yeah, these ones are leaving tiny particles, and I don't like that. All right, let me go in my house and try to see if the paper one are going to be better, okay? So I'm gonna be right back, guys. Actually, I can put the be right back panel for once, because I'm usually not really using it. There you go. Be right back. I'm gonna be back in like a minute. All right, easy peasy. The one that was on the counter was like new, which is amazing because that means I didn't have to go in the storage in the basement, which I love. All right, let me switch dual side. So these are the ones I was talking about, classic paper towel. Just gonna use that to see if it is working better or not on these, because the blue one are leaving a bit of fiber here and there, which I don't really appreciate. So we're gonna use that, and they were using those in the book, so probably not a bad idea following the instruction. Yep, feel like they are not getting some fragment detached that much, so let's go. So what I'm gonna do is start at the back here actually. I'm gonna do that. We're inspecting everything. I'm gonna do this. Go ahead and make sure everything is clean. You see, that's the kind of dirt we want to remove from there. Those microparticles are the things we don't want to get into the engine. We're gonna make sure we are all set with those. Yep, paper towel for the win. So at the back here, I will have to, okay, the oil passage is there. Perfect. I'm just going to take care because once they are getting too dirty, I need to fold it into a different place to make sure I'm not just spreading the dirt, but really removing it. There we go. And then I'm gonna be swiping that and changing right after. So that's the part where I need to take care, because I could drop that straight to the ground if I'm not taking a lot of care on it. There we go. So from there, I'm gonna fold it again one last time and do that surface around here. Oh hell yeah, that one's dirty. So we can see they changed, like they welded stuff and machine that part here. That's to basically machine the actual crank to balance it. So they've done a bunch of things. I don't exactly know what they are doing, but I'm guessing it's adding and removing weight on those counterbalance basically to just bring it to no vibration at all. So they probably have a rig where they can just put the crank and it's spinning it just like it would do on an engine, and tells you, okay, in this place you have a bit of vibration. I'm gonna change my glove. I feel like they are dirty, and everywhere where I'm touching it's not the greatest. Our first main cap is almost dry. So by the time we're done with that, this one's gonna dry, and we should be good to do the engine. And then actually, probably looking at the time, we're gonna be leaving that there for lunchtime, so everything's going to dry, and we're gonna be back at it this afternoon working on the rest of like just machining and balancing everything. So let me do that one here. So see, that's where it's getting sketchy with a crank. It wants to rotate sometimes, so you need to be aware of that, because otherwise you might throw it to the ground and that's a no-go. If we're doing that, it's basically new crank, which is a few $100s, like probably closer to 1,000, maybe even more than that. So it's a no-go. There we go, and I'm gonna wipe that surface with it. Then fold it, use even more mineral spirits, and go ahead and do it all over again. I don't know how you can make sure at 100% you don't have any more dirt in there. Like, to me, it seems a bit, it's really, I know the bearing surface you need to take care of, but it seems a bit awkward to say, hey, I'm 100% sure I've done the right thing, you know? Let me just see if applying a dry one is a good idea after that. Seems like a yes. But I can still see small particles in there. We're gonna blow some air on it probably right before going for the test. Like, it's probably impossible to have something at 100% clean surface like they will like you to do, but it's probably like giving you a lot of warning just to make sure you're taking extra care of those parts. If you're afraid of leaving dirt in there, you're probably doing a great job. If you're not, you're probably messing that up. That's probably the idea there. Because those counterbalance are not a big deal in itself, but we're still going to make sure they are clean. Yep, we're removing dirt. Knowing we're gonna do this entire procedure a second time also, that's really making me confident into getting at least the most of the most out of it, like cleaning the surface at a point where it will be in really good shape. Like, those surfaces are having so much porosity that it is impossible to clean them really. Just the machine surface that you can really do properly, I guess. There we go. So that done. Let's move back to that one. We're gonna redo that one since we have already done it, but making sure there was a hair in there. Not great. I will be wearing just like someone working in a kitchen, like the beard protection and hair protection and stuff like that. That will be funny. We're gonna redo that one just because now we are really using just paper towel. I'm gonna try to dry it a little bit. Push everything to the side. It's looking great. And do that on this section there. So now we're getting to our truss bearing. So that one is the one that has these bearings not allowing it to move back and forth. So these are the stoppers, so that this is the proper thickness to just keep those two sides really centered to the entire unit. So that's one of the most important parts of this entire assembly. Well, they are all super important, so it's not really true, but like that one has something special, so extra careful. Let's be super duper careful. Because yeah, basically, I don't know if you can see it actually, probably not right now. Let me try to show it to you. If you're looking here, there is a machine surface, like it is the same bearing surface on both sides here than the center. Compared to the other one, that one has also like a friction disc. Well, it's not a friction actually, it's like the opposite of friction, but like there's a mating surface for the actual bearing. So the other side here is actually made to slide on that and keep it centered. So someone one day was like, all right, this is what's going to spin the piston. Cool, but how do you prevent to move it back and forth? Like, yes, you have rotating surface that can spin freely, but how are you making that stay in center? I'm gonna make more bearing surface on the sides. That's crazy, honestly. Like, I know it's team of engineers, people with big brains doing that and everything, but like for me, it's just something I find so interesting, and like having the chance to actually just do something like this, like a project as big as the one I'm doing, I'm like, holy crap. Like, I'm not inventing anything pretty much. I'm just like making big boy Legos. Those guys though, that is next level. And that's really blowing my mind sometimes. And also, thinking of it, that's something that came out basically what, like, I don't want to say something stupid, but like when you think of the first few cars, it was like late 1800, early 1900. So that will mean this kind of concept maybe it was used before in train or something else, but I feel like these kind of stuff are pretty much like 100 to maximum 200 years old. Like, it's not that much. Like, knowing that we live about 80 years old, something like that, it means that just 2-3 generations before us, well, there's more generation than that of Chile, but I mean, like, you can just go behind like my grandfather or my I don't know how in English how you say that, mon arrière-grand-père, but basically before my grandfather's dad, damn, there you go. So basically they didn't know, or it was just starting to be a thing that they could never afford, pretty much. And that blows my mind. I'm here working on that, and for them it was like not even a dream. They were just like, what is this sorcery? Right here, the paper towel is getting damaged on those section there. Let's make sure I'm spinning that. I see some hairs and stuff here and there, because there is schmutz on my freaking table. Let me clean that up a little bit. I feel like it's just getting static and it's spraying on those. All right, there you go. Now I need to do that one in a side that won't stay up, right? Nope. So I will need to keep that. So yeah, if you want to understand why I'm loving cars so much, that's probably the reason. Like really the fact of having something that generation before us couldn't even dream of, like just the tech behind all that is really something that makes me like not go crazy, but just like wow, just really the wow effect of it. And that makes me want to understand how it was done, how it is working. Like that's why I'm here doing all that. All right, that is done. Whew, that one was dirty. Let's change our thing, but that one was quite dirty. Mamma mia. Oh hell yeah. Remove that crap. Let's clean you up, young boy. All right. So let's do that middle one that's really hard to reach. Then we're gonna be left with one more and the front section there. What time is it right now? 12. Feel like we're gonna run a little bit over our lunch break, just so I can get at least the bearing surface in the engine done, so that if we want to try to assemble that once we're done after lunch, well, if we're cleaning also the pistons and stuff, yeah, we'll see. Hard to say what is the most logical things to do, because it's the first time I'm doing it. Because I feel like I'm gonna do the piston, well, not the piston, but the cylinder, which mean basically I'm gonna be stuck in the engine for quite a while, and we're gonna have to dry it with air anyways. So might as well wait after lunch for that. There we go. I feel like at least we are getting used to working on those. Whew. Crappy crap getting out of there. Oh, hell yeah. Holy. That's what I'm talking about. And when they say, even if it looks clean, wipe it, because it might not be, well, there you go. I'm gonna leave that one there. That one is definitely trash. It was filthy. Damn. and now I need to reach that one there, which is not going to be an easy job because it won't stay up, of course. There we go. Stay there, young boy. All right. Let's fold that one more time. There we go. So these ones, I had to make them. I had to make the crank grinded to 1/100 of an inch more, just because basically I had a little surprise where the entire crankshaft rusted out when it was left on the side. So I don't know why. I don't know if they didn't put some oil for the storage or something, but basically when it came back, it seems like it was dry and it rusted out. So we had really bad luck with it, which means we had to take that to the machine shop again and had everything machined. Happily, I didn't order the actual bearing yet, so that helped quite a lot. But yeah, and I can still see just a tiny bit of just a tiny bit of few dots, like nothing you can actually feel, which is okay, but like just something happened. Basically, let's say that this way. So that's not the greatest. If I had to bet on something failing on the engine, I will put that right there, front bearing. But it's going to work. We have to be confident, right? There we go. Let's do that. Oh yeah, they added here the fact that it has been grounded 1/10 of an inch. Which is cool. You cannot go wrong. If something happened, if an engine builder is going back on it, well, there you go. You have the information. Perfect. That's what we love to see. All right, crank is pretty much done. Let's dry a little bit the front here and this. And then what we're going to do is use that big brush here. If it is a big, it's not really a big one, so maybe more that one here actually. So that one to push that in here, yep. And that was me throwing an old bearing, which is okay, we are not reusing that, but yeah, throwing that there. So I'm gonna just go in the mineral spirit and just make sure we are having some clean threads in there. There we go. There's a bit of schmutz that came out of it. So actually, we're not doing that for no reason. Let's go. See? All right. There we go. So the crank will be cleaned at this point, which is perfect. So this here, let's throw that here. Hopefully it stays there during lunchtime. There we go. So our crankshaft should be in a really good position right now. Let me again go ahead, just fold that in a really tiny piece of towel, just anywhere where I have a doubt. See your hair. So yeah, I can tell some spots where there was a thing that happened. Hopefully it won't be. But they told me everything was in good condition now, so everything was good to go for the power we're aiming for. So we should be good. Gonna clean the table also. When we are going to remove the crank from here, we're gonna clean the entire table again, because right now it is filthy also. There we go. Crank, front cam. I didn't realize it went to side cam, damn. Basically, right now, we're gonna be leaving that here. After lunch, what we're going to do is start working on the engine itself here, where we're gonna be going through the oil gallery in there, making sure everything is super clean, dry everything, and then we're gonna work it out to the back. I would love to clean the back of the engine also, but I don't think I have the faith to do it right now. So yeah, I would love to paint it also, but it's not like, I feel like that's gonna be a thing for when we're gonna do the second cleanup of it. Then we're gonna be capping everything and making sure we are ready to paint it. But yeah, since we are going to have a lot of manipulation in here, I don't think painting it now is a really good idea, but eventually we're gonna get there and do it. I don't know if I'm gonna be actually I could be putting the cap back in here, which would result into having less surface to cover with masking tape. We will just have that hole here to do. That sounds like quite a good idea actually, to just put that there, bolt it, and in a few spots, cover the other holes, and just so we can paint it even in here. I don't care like putting some paint on my engine stand here. So yeah, well, we might take a look. Maybe we're gonna do something this afternoon. Well, like I said, at the last cleanup, then we will tackle down that, because there's a bit of surface rust on the gasket here part, so the Scotch-Brite's gonna get into action again. So yeah, but basically here we are, engine time after lunch, and we're gonna be able this afternoon to normally start cleaning. I said the crank is done. That's not true actually. We're missing passing the brush into all those little oil channel. Let's do that before lunch. I was about to go, but no, not yet. Dual side. Dual side. So for these, we're gonna use that one. Deep it down there. There we go. So we're gonna make sure we are basically, and I think they were cleaning it in a towel right after, just to see at the same time if there was something. So there we go. And there was stuff. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I get why we're doing that now, because basically when they are machining that, of course there's gonna be dirt going in those, right? Oh yeah. Normally every hole seems to be accessible from this side. So right now what I'm doing is basically going into the mineral spirits in between each round, and once I'm done I'm just cleaning the brush into a piece of paper. So here we're just going to rotate that a little. There we go. Hell yeah. That one there should be the last one. That's not too long. There you go. Yeah, boy. There we go. Brand new piece of towel. We're just going to clean up because now we put a bit of schmutz getting out of the hole. Well, more mineral oil than actual dirt. But we're just going to make sure we are cleaning those and drying them right away. All right, that was a quick thing. So happy about it. There we go. Everything is super clean. Like new. All right, guys, now that's for real. Crankshaft is done. So we're gonna go into a little break, and then after that, we're gonna be back on the actual engine itself, the engine block. We're gonna go ahead and do whatever, everything we couldn't do yesterday due to the fact we were missing those brushes. We're gonna also clean the cylinders of the engine block. Make sure everything is dirt-free, particle-free, as much as possible, the best we can. And basically after that, we're gonna be able to start assembling some stuff and taking measurements. So I don't know if that's going to happen this afternoon, actually, because it's taking quite a long time, but that's the idea. I want to do the entire block properly, because after that, when we're gonna be coming to pistons and stuff like that, I don't care being like having my pistons on the table and clean them like one per one, and then one by one, and then go into the engine and stuff like that. Like, I don't, because in the book they are saying like clean everything, and then they start pre-assembling. For me, it's more okay, we are doing the entire block, then crankshaft, so we clean everything crankshaft related. We're gonna test it, then we're gonna move, for example, to pistons. Well, we're gonna clean the pistons and then move that into in there and everything. So that's the idea here. I'm gonna go step by step and probably clean like the part just before we are actually assembling it. That in mind, one reason for that is that this is not a machine shop. There's dust. It's a garage at my place, at my home. So it's not a clean machine shop. There's no like thing filtering the dust or anything. So basically, we have a chance of redusting everything. I'm trying to not be too intense with that. I've vacuumed the floor, but of course, obviously, it's not perfect. So with that said, we'll see each other this afternoon in around maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm not sure I'm gonna be there at perfectly 2, but maybe because basically I have a class tonight, so I won't be able to stream up to super late. Probably gonna stream up to 4:30, something like that, which is classic, the classic time. So we'll see. 4:30 is a bit short, so maybe more like 4. So we'll see there. I'll see you later this afternoon, and yeah, see you guys. Bye bye.